Hack number 8 is get a high interest savings account. This one, I talked about this a little bit earlier, but I want to make sure we're on the same page here, which is if you have cash that's sitting there, like if you have cash that's waiting to be invested, if you have the savings money, use a high interest savings account, because that's going to allow your money to grow faster than if it was not in a high interest savings account. Because you're going to say, but Jaspreet, in the beginning you were saying how high interest savings accounts are not going to help you really beat inflation like that. Sure, but guess what? A 4 or 5% return on your savings is better than a 0% return on your savings. So if you have this cash put aside, look into getting a high interest savings account. Make sure your bank is FDIC insured. Just be a little, let's call it smart here. Do your research to make sure they're a legitimate bank. But if you have this cash sitting aside, put it into a high interest savings account that we can at least earn something on this savings. Number 9 is scale your time. As you start to make some money, now what you want to do is figure out how you can make more money, right? That's the whole game here. If you can make more money, you can invest more money. But there's a limited amount of time that you have. And if you have to do everything yourself, whether it's for your work, for your house, for your life, you're going to be limited on time. And this is where the question is, how can you buy some of your time back so you have the ability to earn more money? Now, here's one way that I've talked to a few people about doing this, especially higher income earners like doctors, which is you're a doctor, you're a physician, you're a surgeon, and you're driving into your clinic 35, 40 minutes away. You're driving 35, 40 minutes in the morning and then driving 35, 40 minutes in the evening. You're making $400,000, $500,000, $600,000 a year. And you talk about how you don't have time to do the things that you want. You don't have time to talk to your parents. You don't have time to just relax. But what if now you just got an Uber to work in the mornings and you took an Uber to work at home? Or if you wanted to be even a little bit more cost effective, is you just wanted to get yourself a driver for the morning and the evenings. Now, guess what? It might cost you, I don't know, $100 a day to get a driver, but you effectively just bought yourself more than an hour of your time back, because now you can sit in the back seat, you can read a book, you can call your friends, you can call your family, you can just relax, you can take a nap, you can do whatever you want, because now you paid somebody else to give you some of your time back. Now there's a lot of ways to do this. Again, if you're running your own business, this is when you got to think about hiring people, and that's tough, because that means you got to let go of some of the controls that you have in your business. But if you want to be able to get some of your time back, you have to be able to delegate. Delegating is hard. I know this because, well, I've done that myself. And the first hard part is kind of letting go of the controls and trusting somebody else to do something. And then the second hard part is finding good help, because there are some good workers out there and there are some not so good workers out there. And when you get burned by some, let's call them not so good workers, you don't feel good and you feel scammed and you feel violated sometimes, depending on how bad this person is. And you just kind of feel embarrassed. So you don't want to have to do that again. But if you ever want to be able to have that freedom, not just the financial freedom, but the time freedom, you have to be able to delegate, you have to be able to teach, you have to be able to find good team members, you have to be able to find good people to hire, and that's going to allow you to give you some of your freedom back. But you have to be willing to do that, try, make mistakes, and then find the right person. Number 10 is learn to be a winner. And the reason why this is so important, I don't care if you're starting a business, I don't care if you're an investor, I don't care if you're an employee, you have to have a winner's mentality. And the reason why is, well, no business wants to hire an average employee. No business puts it on their application that we want to hire the most average employee for this position. And if your goal is just to kind of cruise and get by, guess who's going to be the person that doesn't get the raise, that doesn't get the promotion, that's going to be the first to let go when things get tough? It's going to be the average person, or the person that's not really putting in the work. Now you're going to say, but Jaspreet, I don't want to have to put in that extra work. Okay, but why are you working at a place that you don't enjoy what you do? Maybe this goes back to finding something, finding a new career, finding a new passion. Because the reason why some people hate the idea of working is because they hate what they do. There are some bad employers out there, okay? I don't disagree with you. But there are also some good employers out there. Make yourself better, more valuable, so you can work at a job where you do something that you enjoy, where you trust the process, and you actually like the company culture, and now you can actually commit to winning, because now if you can commit to winning, guess what? You can make a lot more money. It's the same thing with business. It's the same thing with your investments. If you're coming in with the mindset to be average, how do you think you're going to end up? You have to come in with the mindset of, I'm here to win. And it's very easy to get complacent. It's very easy to say, you know what, I just want to get by. But when your goal is just to get by, you end up getting beat. And this is where you have to come in with the attitude of, I'm here to win. I'm here to do what it takes to win. I'm here to be smart with my money so I can win financially. I don't want to be broke like all of my neighbors. I don't want to be broke like all of my friends. I don't want to end up broke like all of my family was. I want to live a different financial life, but that requires you to think a little bit different and do things a little bit different. Yeah, it's tough, but the toughness actually becomes a whole lot easier, because when you're willing to put in that sacrifice and no one else is willing to do, you end up having a lot more freedom in the future. Yeah, the first few years suck because you got to make that extra sacrifice for the first few years, but then you end up having a lot more freedom than everybody else you know, because you put in that sacrifice to be that winner. And this is where understanding sometimes if you put in the extra work in the beginning, you can have a lot more freedom in the background. It's kind of like if you wanted to shoot an arrow. If you ever went arrow shooting before, bow and arrow shooting, if you pull your arrow back, it's going to go forward. If you pull it further back, it's going to go even more forward. And it's that sacrifice of, you know what, sometimes you got to take a step back, put in the extra sacrifice and really stretch, and that's what's going to allow you to rocket forward. If you enjoyed this clip and you want to continue your financial education journey, I have another video that I think you'll love. All you got to do is click that button right over there. And for those of you who want to stay up to date on the top finance and business news, you can join Market Briefs, my free financial newsletter, by clicking that button below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.